So yesterday was the first hearing for President Trump's Supreme Court pick, Brett Kavanaugh. Now, Kavanaugh has a lot of problems. He's an incredibly partisan right-wing judge whose previous decisions include ruling on behalf of SeaWorld. That's after a trainer was literally eaten on the job by a killer whale. Amazing story, horrible story. But basically what Kavanaugh ruled is, he died at work, but that doesn't mean his job's at fault. Companies should not be liable if you die on the job. Oh, well, that's an interesting decision. So you can kind of guess that he's incredibly pro-corporate. He's like Neil Gorsuch in that regard. Neil Gorsuch, of course, would rather have somebody, truck driver, die than leave his truck. Go ahead, just die. The corporation, you must die. You give your life serving the corporations. Great. So it's no surprise that progressives are against this guy, and also, of course, Democrats. And there were even some mass protests. Now, I want to show you a video of some of the Democrats supposedly fighting back against this. And we're going to go to a video here with Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. Let's take a look.
I'd like to be recognized to ask a question before we proceed. The committee received just last night, less than 15 hours ago, 42,000 pages of documents that we have not had an opportunity to review or read or analyze.
You're out of order. I'll proceed.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with my colleague Senator Harris. Mr. Chairman, we received 42,000 documents that we haven't been able to review last night, and we believe this hearing should be postponed.
I know this is an exciting day for all of you here, and you're rightly proud.
Mr. Chairman, if we cannot be recognized, I move to adjourn.
The American people.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn.
Directly from Judge Kavanaugh later this afternoon.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn. Mr. Chairman, we have been denied real access to the documents we need to advise.
Mr. Chairman, regular order is called for.
Which turns this hearing into a charade and a mockery of our norms.
Well,
and Mr. Chairman, I therefore move to adjourn this hearing.
Okay.
Okay, so Cory Booker was not actually in that, but he was also calling for this thing to be adjourned. You had Amy Klobuchar, of course, and Richard Blumenthal. So you had like a lot of Democrats and mainly people who are running for 2020, and that's of course related to why they're making a spectacle, saying, "Oh, we need to just postpone the hearing. Postpone the hearing. We got all these documents, and to be fair, they got over 40,000 documents the night before. There's no way they could read through that. These are the same people who got mad when the Democrats pushed through the ACA. Oh, you didn't let us read the documents. You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. So not only that, but of course, you actually had real protesters there that protested as well. So it kind of turned into a circus. Now, what happened? Did Grassley adjourn? No, of course not. He's like, not interested. Yeah, we hear your objections, and guess what? We don't give a damn. So now that, of course, led Dianne Feinstein, who could have done something, not doing anything. Instead, she delivered her prepared opening statement, which then, of course, let the hearing proceed. So, hey, Judge Kavanaugh gets his hearing. Now, that, of course, is a far different fate than Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland, you see, never received a hearing during the last year of President Obama's term. So there's an interesting story about how that happened, right? Now, Republicans had removed the power of the minority pretty much at the end of the Obama administration when it came to local judges, which, look, dumb move, right? On the part of Democrats who did the nuclear option. Look, Democrats didn't have the power to stop them. Before they had the filibuster, now they do not have the filibuster anymore. So, meaning that all they need to confirm Kavanaugh is a simple majority of Republicans. Now, the Democrats did have, or I should say do have, one trick left up their sleeve. They can just walk out. They could deny Kavanaugh a hearing. They could say, okay, we're not going to be there. We're not going to provide a quorum. So, is that what they did? No, of course. They did not do that. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, the rest, Amy Klobuchar, they protested, but that's all they do. They don't actually take bold action. I mean, again, Republicans are stunned at how feckless the Democrats are when it comes to the Kavanaugh fight. In fact, on MSNBC's Morning Joe, former staffer to the late Senator John McCain, Steve Schmidt, had remarked, quote, "It seems Democrats are absolutely determined to bring butter knives to every gunfight forever." So what does he mean by that? Well, look, here's the thing. Democrats, they don't actually fight for things. They don't fight against Republicans. They spend most of their energy, time, and money fighting against progressives. But Mitch McConnell, here's the thing. Mitch McConnell was absolutely vicious when it came to blocking Merrick Garland. They pulled out every dirty procedural trick in the book, including not giving Garland a hearing. They simply said, we're not going to even allow a hearing on Merrick Garland. Oh, you want a hearing? Sad day. We're not even going to give him that, and we're not going to give him a vote. That was President Obama's pick. Did not allow a vote. This is a stolen seat. Okay? And now here we have a president who's apparently incredibly dangerous, if you ask the resistance. And I actually do agree that he is dangerous. He's dangerously stupid for and a definite problem for the country. But here you have Democrats who are not fighting against that. See, you have a president right now. President Trump is named as a co-conspirator to a crime. The Democrats still give his pick a hearing. And why is that? Well, you'll love this. It's because they want to give cover to a couple of red state Democrats. This is people like Joe Donnelly, Heidi Heitkamp, and Joe Manchin. Places where Trump actually did incredibly well. Now, how are they doing it? By letting these hearings continue and by letting these red state Democrats remain neutral. Oh, for fuck's sake. Here's their strategy. Now, Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin is quoted as saying, quote, "As all Chuck ever says in caucus meetings is pretty well known. Keep your powder dry, don't commit, stay as neutral as you can as long as you can." That's their strategy going into the Kavanaugh hearings. Saying, we're not going to take a side against Kavanaugh. We're not going to, we're going to allow these red state Democrats, Joe Manchin and Heidi Heitkamp, to stay neutral and to not commit to blocking Kavanaugh. I'm not going to be a leader. I'm not going to lead. I'm going to let these guys do this. Keep your powder dry, guys. Their entire strategy hinges on the more moderate Republicans blocking Judge Kavanaugh. You know that there is Suzanne Collins. She's like, I don't know. I'm not exactly comfortable with Kavanaugh, especially when it comes to his, his views on abortion, right? If she blocks Kavanaugh, Republican donors are going to spend over $300,000 in ads targeted against her. They've already made that threat. We're going to bring out the money, and we're going to deny you re-election. That's the kind of tricks Republicans do. But Chuck Schumer says, keep your powder dry, guys. Keep your powder dry. Don't do anything. Don't you dare resist. No. Be neutral. Be neutral. Don't walk out. That's your strategy. Does that sound like a leader to you? Don't do anything. You must be neutral. Oh, look at that. Did the Republicans win again? Gee, looks like there was nothing we could do. We did the great strategy of leading from the middle, of not doing a damn thing. Nothing we could do. No, there's actually something you can do, and that's walk out. Get some balls, walk out. That's it. deny them a hearing. But they're not going to do that, are they? No, of course not. No. You're going to offer some mild resistance for the camera and let Joe Manchin, Heidi Heitkamp, and Joe Donnelly vote for Kavanaugh so that they could possibly get reelected in their states. It's ridiculous. And look, that's exactly what they did with Neil Gorsuch. They lost because they're paid to lose. Chuck Schumer is not a leader. He is a disaster. And you have establishment Democrats that are pointing that out. In fact, I'm going to go to a quote here from a former Harry Reid staffer named Adam Jentelson. Now he says, quote, "The state of Senate Dems fast-tracked Trump judges while apologizing for confirming Obama judges. If we hadn't gone nuclear in 2013, we would have confirmed fewer judges." And that's what they said. The Democrats came out and apologized. "Oh no, we're so sorry that we had to come up against your unprecedented obstruction from Mitch McConnell and the rest of the minority who were in the minority, Republicans. We're sorry we did that. We're sorry we challenged you." This is the Democratic Party right now. He said McConnell would have just gone nuclear himself and had even more vacancies to fill with Trump judges. And he said, "What I find most depressing about this is that the tone of the caucus conversations has shifted from how do we stop bad things from happening to how do we find an excuse to fold on important fights, then convince ourselves that folding is savvy, not cowardice." This is the state of the Democratic Party. This is what they're doing. They're fighting. They're resisting Kavanaugh by laying down and doing nothing. Look, here's what happened. Obama judges, right? Facing incredible obstruction from Mitch McConnell, Democrats did the nuclear option at the end of Obama's presidency. They confirmed a few judges, right? Now, I think that was a bad strategy. Why? If you're going to do it, you need to do it at the beginning of the year, or at least when they start saying that we're going to obstruct everything. You say, okay, we're going to do it now. And then appoint as many as you can. That didn't happen. They didn't do it. And guess what? All those vacancies are now going to Trump judges. It is unreal how bad the Democrats are at politics. And not just politics, but they're also bad at policy. Gorsuch and Kavanaugh are going to have a lifetime of making decisions on important policies. Not only that, but you have circuit court judges that are also going to make lifetime worth of decisions. This has changed the Supreme Court for generations. It has now gone to the conservatives. And it's all because the Democrats are too weak to fight back. And why? Because they're paid to be weak. And here's the final kick in the pants. Most of the public, they don't want Judge Kavanaugh. You know what he's pulling at? About 37 to 38%. He is deeply unpopular. And yet the Democrats are still not actually fighting him. They're putting up a lot of show, but they're not actually doing anything. In fact, as I said, their strategy is to get a photo op. So then they can go and say, look at us. We resisted. Now vote for us. They actually fast-tracked Trump judges so that they could go home early. Oh, yeah, no, go ahead and pass these guys through. You know, I covered that story the other day that didn't get a lot of attention. Look, here's the thing. The Democrats don't want to fight. All they want to do is meet with their donors and get money. They're playing politics, and they're playing it incredibly poorly. And at the end of the day, these Democrats are going to be complicit in whatever terrible decisions these conservative justices rule on, because they don't fight. In order to stop the damage these guys can do, Democrats need to become vicious fighters. But they're not going to. Not under Chuck Schumer, Not under Nancy Pelosi. They're not going to fight as long as we have feckless leaders in charge. We need to replace those leaders with strong progressives who actually do know how to fight. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.